What's going down? So you gonna tap in, man? I was supposed to be on here way earlier. Y'all make sure y'all share. What's going down? What's going down? Y'all make sure y'all share. Appreciate the like. Late night talks. Y'all see what's going down, y'all? What's going down? Appreciate y'all tapping in. My bad, y'all. I was supposed to be in on here earlier. What's up with y'all? Y'all see the title. Y'all see what we talking about. Y'all see what we talking about. How y'all doing though? Before we get into it, how y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all like the video for me? Like the live? I appreciate it. Appreciate the like. We talking about red flags in relationships and life lessons tonight. I'm thinking about doing this like midnight talk. Y'all like that name? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm doing good. Appreciate it. Y'all like that? Y'all think I should do these later talk convos? Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay. I'm not in India, brother. No, sir. No, Ray. Not in India. Not at all. But listen, so we gonna talk about red flags. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me. What's going down? What's up? What's up? I'm from Chicago somewhere. Somewhere in Chicago. Um, so we're gonna talk about the red flags. I got a question for those who willing to participate. Um, and this can be relationship like far as like yeah, so red flags. So this can be like what relationship like an intimate relationship or or just a personal relationship, right? Just siblings or whatever like that. What do y'all think are some red flags when it comes to a relationship? What do y'all think? Let's lean more into relationships like having a partner, like on some intimacy type of thing. What do y'all think is some red flags? And I'm gonna share mines. What do I think? What do y'all think? Y'all feel like talking about it? Y'all can. Um, I would say you have a crush. Okay. So what do you think is a red flag then? What do you think is a red flag when it comes to a relationship? Me personally, me personally is not being able to me personally is not being able to stand on who you say you are, right? That's one big red flag, right? A lot of people like to get in relationships and pretend to be something, and then you find out later on they're not. You know what I mean? And it's like a surprise, right? Being in, and that's like the biggest thing for me is like pretending to be somebody you're not is crazy work. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of like I understand the honeymoon phase and all that, but like pretending to be one thing and being another is nasty work. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, I think women do it the most. Sorry, women. I ain't gonna lie. I think y'all do it the most. I don't know, fellas in the chat. Y'all think I personally feel like women do it the most because I I think for most men, you can kind of tell what type of time they on. You know what I mean? That's a fact. That's a big red flag. When they cheat on you, that's a fact. That's definitely a red flag. But I'm just saying, like, I think women pretend to be something that they're not, maybe be shy, be quiet, you know what I mean? Women more so tell you what you want to hear more than men do. You know what I mean? A lot of women won't admit it, but I feel like that. You know what I mean? I feel like women play a lot of mind games as well. I think that's like hand to hand kind of like women and men when it comes to that. But I feel like women are not consistent, be they have a lack of consistency of being who they say they are, you know. Oh yeah. If you too young, you can get out the chat. My bad. But I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. This might be, but if you young, go ahead. It ain't for young ears. I don't know. I set YouTube for that. I don't know why. But just being and that's with any relationship, you know what I mean? That's what any relationship. I feel like with any relationship, not being who you say you are is the worst thing ever, or pretending to be something that you're not is the worst thing ever. You know what I mean? And that kind of ruin a lot of relationships because as time go by, as you get to know this individual, you come to find out, I don't like a lot about this individual. You know what I mean? And that's one big red flag of mine, just a lack of consistency, you know, a lack of consistency. Yeah, you probably want to go to bed then. Appreciate you tapping in though. Much love. You 14, yeah. Go to bed, get some rest for school. But I don't know why YouTube showing this. This for adults. Adult content only. I said it personally to that, so YouTube, that ain't me. But I appreciate my younger audience as well. But yeah, just a lack of consistency, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna just speak on like men have issues too. You know what I mean? Men, yeah, for sure. Yes, I am. Men have issues too. Like I said, I think women lie, but I think women lie and not be straightforward about their lies. Like I said, when men lie and be kind of like in your face with it a little bit. You do got some gentlemen out there who don't lie, but if you really pay attention to what they be saying or what we be saying, not me personally, I'm just saying, I'm a man. What men be saying, you will really hear, you know, you'll really hear the truth on, what they really giving, what type of game they trying to spit. You know what I mean? And it just man, I think that's just overall for me. Like lying and stuff, yeah, that's definitely a red flag. But I think just lack of consistency, you know what I mean, on being who you are and standing on who you are. That's like the biggest it get with me personally. I don't really have that one for me personally. It's just not being who you are, who you say you are, and pretending to be something that you're not. Also, and that comes hand in hand with gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? Another thing is fellas trying to, I say this a long time, fellas, y'all got to stop with the pulling up. If y'all not, if this is come hand in hand with lack of consistency, is a lot of gentlemen start stuff that they can't finish. You know what I mean? In relationships, like, bro, if you're not known to be consistently pulling out chairs or buying these expensive gifts gifts on a consistent basis and stuff like that, bro, don't start it now. You know what I mean? Don't start it now because she expect that. That's an expectation that you set, and that's a certain standard that you set, and that you can't hold on to. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of fellas out there be messing up with that. You know what I mean? And women do too. Women do too. All the back massages, all the kissing and loving, and you know what I mean. All the what they call it. Me personally, all just being what's that word I'm looking for? Submissive, being very submissive. Ladies, like don't do that. Don't pretend to be a submissive woman and then come to find out you ain't that submissive at all. You know what I mean? Like it just all comes hand in hand with lack of consistency, lack of being who you say you are. I think the most easiest thing is to be who you say you are. The most easiest thing is to not pretend to be something that you're not. This is who I am. This is what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? I'm quiet. I'm quiet. I'm not. I can be quiet. I can not be quiet. I can you do this. I can not do this. But showing something all the time and then all of a sudden 5, 6 years later down the line or less, and you committed in this relationship now, and all of a sudden they switch up on you. That's nasty work. You know what I mean? That's nasty work. And that's the part where, what I mean, kind of like, mm, yeah, I don't think I want to be with this person. I invested in this person and now it's like I waste a lot of my time. You know what I mean? And that's like that's the worst thing you can do, you know. So yeah, that's that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get into some more stuff. So now let's talk about life lessons, man. I want to talk about that. Um I think, and y'all welcome whoever in here, if anybody in here, you welcome to talk, give your input as well in the chat. I think one of my biggest life lessons, and I always preach to people is to learn to listen. You know what I mean? And learning to listen and what that look like for you, what that sound like to you. Um, the biggest thing we can do is to learn to listen. You know what I mean? Learn to be quiet and listen. I say this all the time because I really stand on it. I really believe in it. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of people downfall is they don't know how to listen, and that's not necessarily something that can financially benefit you. It can really like benefit you, uh, not only financially but you know internally. In your life for real, for real. That was the biggest thing. When I started listening, I started to understand who I was. I started to understand this thing called life just a little bit more. I started to understand that I would truly never understand, even if I listen, but I'm going to understand a little bit more than the next person because we're not perfect. We are human. You know what I mean? And I think that's uh one of my one of the lessons that I learned in my life is just learning to listen. You know what I mean? And really trying to listen and understand the things that I already knew. I can't stress enough how important that is. Those who familiar with me gonna know that Derek been saying the same thing. Because even though people say they know, they don't know or they haven't heard it enough. You know what I mean? And I want to be the person that says it all the time and get that to people's head. And you know what I mean? Because I understand the power of repeating things over and over, whether you get it or love it or hate it. I understand the power of that. You know what I mean? And how beneficial it was for me. One thing my mama taught me in this thing called life is to never stop talking. You know what I mean? To never stop talking, to always keep talking. Especially for those who you find yourself to love and care for, or you say, because that's the best thing you can give somebody is your voice, is to not stop talking. Once you stop talking, you stop caring. You know what I mean? That's something that people not understanding about this thing called life is because, and that's another thing that ruins relationship as well. It comes hand in hand with the relationship, red flags, all that. You know what I mean? That's one of the biggest things I look for is a person who stopped talking. Is a like I love the best thing, bro. I cannot love when somebody repeats something over and over again because I know they care. Anytime somebody can repeat something, I don't care if you just told me 5 minutes ago, and I'm saying like some information, like something I need to understand though. Like Derek, you not understanding, bro. I need you to understand. Like even if it's a week down the line, you told me or a reminder of something, reminding me of something that just lets me know that you care enough. You know what I mean? Because a person who don't care is gonna not say nothing. You know what I mean? They're not gonna say nothing because they don't care to say nothing. You know what I mean? And they say they care for you, but that's a lack of caring for me personally. You know what I mean? That's just how I personally view things and people. Like anytime you stop talking, I'm saying like as far as when I say talking, I mean like giving me something I really need or really need to hear because you see that I'm lacking of something, but you just let instead of letting me just go about it, you that friend or family that comes and say, hey, maybe you need to think about this or think about that or go about this a different way or go about that a different way. That means much more to me. You know what I mean? That means much, much more to me because that lets me know that you care enough to even repeat yourself that many times. Because the an individual may not get it the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, so on and so forth. But one day, it's gonna come a time when somebody in that gym or need that information in a pivotal moment in their life, and they're gonna hear your voice. They're gonna hear your voice, and they're gonna revert back to what you told them, not what they wanted to hear. It may not have been something they wanted to hear. It may be. It's going to be something that they needed to hear that can potentially save their life. So anybody in your life that keep and I'm just want y'all to understand, man. Anybody in your life that that that's around in your life that that there's no way to avoid this person, but y'all call each other family or friends. You see this person on a daily or weekly, however you this is the person that you see, and and or you may not know that you crashing out, whatever that may look like for you, and they not talking anymore, they probably don't care. They probably don't care. You know what I mean? Because somebody who cares for you and loves you gonna keep talking, man. They're gonna keep talking until you get it. Um, that's one of the lessons that I learned in this thing called life. You know what I mean? One day I want to write a book because I think me writing it down is better. But it's learning to listen. Another thing that I learned in this thing called life is understanding how not to rush things, or understanding the the value of not rushing things. Now I know most of us on this platform, or well, what my analytics say, are adults, but this is something that we need to be reminded as well, man. You know what I mean? Is how not to rush things, right? You know, once again, that comes hand in hand with learning to listen and learning to how not to rush things in this thing called life. If you pay attention to anything you have done in life, if you pay attention to anything that you have done in life, you understand that I succeeded. I did this successfully. Successfully. I seeked out to do something, and I successfully completed this mission by not rushing. But anytime we start to rush things, it go bad for us. And I understand, man, that anxiety kicks in, and we want to hurry up and get it done. I'm in that position right now. You know what I mean? Where I'm doing something, I set my mind to something right now, and I'm on a mission. You know what I mean? I want to complete this right now. I'm going through this right now. I need to get this done. I can't even sleep barely half of the time. Like I'm so much focused on completing this and getting this figured out, because I feel like this is monumental in my life, that I have to keep reminding myself not to rush things. You know what I mean? Derek, don't rush. And I think that's important for us to understand. I don't care how old you may be or may get. We have to learn how to remind ourselves how not to rush things or calm ourselves down, because that anxiety kicks in, because we trying to complete a work task, or because we trying to accomplish a goal, or whatever the case may be. You know, the best thing you could do, the best thing we can do in our life is become comfortable with ourselves, man. You know what I mean? Become comfortable with ourselves. Get uncomfortable. You have to get uncomfortable with self in order to become comfortable with self. Because a lot of us are uncomfortable with ourselves, meaning are uncomfortable with our own thoughts. We can't even, you think, you think, listen, overthinkers like myself, I'm an overthinker. I overly think, right? We think that our overthinking is bad, but it's not. You overthinking is not bad. This is part of your life. This is part of your DNA, right? So the best thing is to do is to get comfortable with that. Don't numb that thing in your life that makes you overthink. That's part of who you are. That's part of your DNA, bro. See, a lot of times we catch ourselves trying to fight things that we can't win this battle because it's part of us. You will never win that battle because that's who you are as a person. So get comfortable with that. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable with self in order to be comfortable. Do that make sense? We all be fighting things that we can't, we fight battles within ourselves that we can't win because it's part of who we are. So the best thing, overthinkers, is to do is become comfortable with being that overthinker. Embrace that. Embrace that. Because a lot of people out here don't even think. They don't think they and we might have been one of those people. I used to be a person who used to react off of impulse, impulsively reacting to things. And then got the boo-boo face on when stuff don't work out my way, or I don't know what just happened. Yeah, because you didn't think about it. You didn't think about that before you did it. You know what I mean? And don't rush it, man. Overthinkers, don't rush it, bro. You know what I mean? I know it's hard, bro. Like I said, I'm going through that right now. I tend to do that a lot. That's just part of who I am. I always been that person. I think the older I got, I just started to pay attention a little bit more, and I learned that about myself, and I didn't like that about myself at once, once upon a time, because I didn't understand what was going on. That's another thing about this thing called life. A lot of times we go through things in our life as a child that we're not aware that we already have this going on. We already have these things going on with ourselves as children, as teenagers, and then we adult phase hit us, and it's like, what is this feeling? Why am I feeling this? I never used to overthink. I never used to do this. I never used to say that, or you know what I mean? Think these things, think that, you know what I mean? And we don't know what to do. We don't know how to process that information, but understand that was always you. The only difference is now is that you have time to think about it, or you became aware of it more as an adult. And that's part of who you always were. That didn't just come out of nowhere. God don't make no mistakes. You know what I mean? That always been a part of who you were. You just now paying attention. and like I said, man, the bit don't rush things, man. Do not rush things, man. That's like I said, I don't care how old you are, bro. I'm telling you, constantly be comfortable with reminding yourself of those things. Like, hey, I need to slow down. Okay, I know what's going on right now. I'm rushing it. I know what happens when I do rush these things. It doesn't be successful. It doesn't be successful. Those who were successful or is successful in something is those who took their time to learn, to do whatever they needed to do to become successful, to see that success, to accomplish that goal. You know what I mean? So not rushing things is one of the biggest things we have to understand. And even as adults, we have to constantly remind ourselves. I should have brought some water down. A little harsh. I ain't drinking enough water today, y'all. Um, Another thing, one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite artists is J. Cole, right? He made this song called Love Yours. And basically the title itself speaks for itself. Love Yours. Um Basically the song was about not comparing, if those who know, but basically the song was about stop comparing what you have to what you don't have, and appreciate the things that you do have. Shout out to J. Cole. That's like the bet. I appreciate it. Appreciate the like. Appreciate you subscribing. Much love for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure you share and let everybody know, man. I'm just, listen to it later on. A lot of people do. Let's stay now. I appreciate it either way. Learning to love yours, right? Learning to appreciate the things that you have. I know a lot of us gonna say we do. But the you have to be honest with yourself, bro. Everybody had those times where it's like, bro, I want something different, or I want this, or man, I wish this, I wish that. And a lot of times when those wishes and the things that it doesn't be realistic, and it already be up to the point where it's like, ain't no turning back at this point. You know what I mean? Love yours, man. And it may be a chance that you can change that narrative, but love what you have now. You know what I mean? And then love what you have later. Don't rush it, man. Don't rush it, man. That's goes hand in hand with everything else. Love the things that you have, man. Understand the value in those things. Understand that God wouldn't give you those things if it wasn't meant for you. It was specifically designed for you. Love that. Appreciate that. Seek value in that. And everything gonna be okay, man. These are the three most important things I learned in this thing called life is learning to listen, not rushing things, and that's a constant. All these things are a constant reminder, and loving yours, loving the things that I already have, in order to appreciate the things that I'm gonna have later on. You know what I mean? That's the most biggest thing that we can do. You know, it was a time in my life where um I didn't all these things I'm talking about, I didn't appreciate. I didn't listen. I used to rush things. I used to not love the things that God already gave me, not understanding the value in those things that I already have, not understanding that there is somebody that have a lack of that, whatever that may have been of what I have, not loving what I have, not appreciate, like everybody don't have nobody to wake up to and be next to, or everybody don't have nobody to appreciate them. Everybody don't have a loving mother that appreciate them, or those who have a loving father in their life. Everybody don't have a father that appreciate them, that values them, that's there all the time. Everybody don't have that. So love what you do have, appreciate what you do have, seek value in the things that you do have. And once God see that, bro, no telling what God gonna do for you. But he has to see. I think a lot of people don't understand, bro. And I just, I think, my bad. I should have got some water, y'all. My bad. I ain't drinking no water. But I think a lot of people don't understand, bro, is we as individuals tend to pray for things, right? And not put in the work behind those things. This come hand in hand with loving yours. We may pray for a new car, but not put in the work to in order to get that new car, or not loving what we already have to get us from point A to point B. It's a lot of things in this thing called life that we need to understand, bro. And it only takes time, bro. We never gonna fully understand everything, but everything in this thing called life takes time. And I say this passionately, and I mean this, man. I mean everything I say. I didn't have cats come on my channel and say like, "Oh, you too emotional. Like you gotta you this and that." But bro, I don't see enough people that on this joint being honest and being real with people, bro. You know what I mean? I want to be real. I want to show people the good, the bad, the ugly, all that, bro. For people to understand that at the end of the day, I'm human. You human at the end of the day. And I say that all the time. And I tell people that all the time, bro. Um, you can't pray and ask God for stuff and not put in the work behind the things you asking for. You think it's just gonna fall out the sky. That's not gonna happen. That's not the way this thing called life works. It don't work out like that. You can't just pray for things and expect it to happen. God gotta see that you want it to happen, and God gotta see that in the process of you getting there, you have to appreciate the things that's in the path of you getting there. You have to appreciate, you have to value the things that before you reach that goal, you have to value the things that was there before that goal was accomplished. And that comes hand in hand with this thing called life, man. I think a lot of brothers find success in this thing called life, no matter what you're doing, whether it's music, art, painting, whatever you may do, content, whatever, and really truly lose who they are. Really truly lose who they are, and they're swept down that it's the same person, or people always reminding them, "Oh, I'm different. I switched up. I this." One thing I challenge anybody, whether you're a content creator, a famous singer, anybody, anything you do and you accomplished it on a high level, right? I challenge you to think about the thing that you used to think about back then before you accomplished that. Think about the person that you were back then before you accomplished that. Think about why you even set out to do that, and think about, is you that same person? Are you seeking that same thing? Or is that thing you were seeking elevated to a higher level? And then come back and tell me I'm that same person. Then come back and tell me, Derek, I'm the same person. I'm the same person that used to write them notes down and say how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna create this. I'm the same person that used to write notes and remind myself I'm never gonna change no matter what position God put me in. I'm that same person. Now, I'm not saying that you're not, and I'm not saying that there are not people out there that isn't. But what I am saying is majority of the people that accomplish their goals on a higher level lose who they are in the long run, because they don't constantly remind themselves of who they were, why they was trying to get there, and now that they got there, do a evaluation on, am I that same person? Right? Let me draw something. We got A, B, C, D. Goes in a circle, right? No matter where you start at, right? I'm not the best drawer. Bear with me though. I'm getting to something. No matter where you start at in life, whether you A, B, C, or D, trying to get to the money, the check mark. And in that process of A, B, C, D, no matter where you start at in the map, it all comes like this. Not the best circle, but it's all a circle. It's all a circle. Yeah, for sure. Hold on, y'all. It's all a circle. So, in the process of going in your circle, are you the same person here before you got here? Are you the same person here before you got here? Do you seek the same goals on a higher level here before you got here? Because you started somewhere before you got here. And here the X marks the spot. Here is the goal. Here is where you at now on that higher level. Did you, and within that circle of life, are you still that same person who prayed for all those things in this thing called life? Not the best job, but I'm getting somewhere. I promise you. Who prayed for all the things in the circle of life and you got to your goal, which is the X. You prayed for all of these things and you got here. No matter where you started in life, A, B, C, or D, you got here. And when you got here, are you the same person, but on a higher level? And a lot of these guys out here, respectfully, lose sight of that because, and I understand, because life is crazy, and this at the end of the day, you're human. A lot of these guys out here lose sight because they don't constantly remind them why they're going on this mission, why they're seeking it. I'm good. Like I'm kind of glad I didn't make you a moderator for you to say that. Respectfully, it's evidence all around. Um, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. But within this circle of life, are you the same person? And a lot of people lose sight on that because they don't constantly remind themselves. That's why a lot of people or a lot of therapists will tell you to keep a journey so you can keep writing in it. You know what I mean? And that journey for you to write in it, I still love you. I ain't judging you. I'm just saying that was crazy, though. That was random and crazy, bruh. Still love you, but that shit was crazy. That was funny too, but that was crazy as hell. Just randomly say that was crazy. Uh, but I get it. I love you too, though. Then see you made me lose my train of thought, bro. I hate when people do, bro. But yeah, that's why therapists and things like that will tell you to keep a journey and write in it. It's just to remind yourself, you know what I mean? It don't necessarily have to be a journey or a book or anything to write in. It could be a video. I do it all the time. Sometimes you may not have time to write because you be on the go so much. Maybe you have time to make a quick clip, 30-second video reminding yourself, hey, Derek, so, whatever. Just want to remind yourself, stay the same person, seek the same goals, but on a higher level, this and that, you know. Remind yourself you accomplished this today. Good job. Pat yourself on the back with a visual pat. You know what I mean? Just remind yourself in this thing called life, man. You know, and remember in this circle, not the best circle, you got to point the goal, X mark the spot within wherever you was at here. Do you seek the same validations and same thing before you got there, but on a higher level? I'm just saying. Let's talk in the chat. What are you saying, man? Super, what are you saying? Super underscore 38 USA. Let's see what you saying. God one no he existed. He or she he wouldn't play hide and seek forever. Okay, super. Let's talk about it. Explain to me, since you the only one that's talking. Appreciate it. Shout out to you. You making convo, making content. Shout out to you for sure. Explain to me in what way. I don't know where you at in your life, but explain to me in what way and how did you get to where you at in your life? You think you did that by yourself? It was never a time in your life where you like, I don't know how that happened. Never. Don't care what it was. It could be the smallest to the biggest thing in your life. There was never a time in your life where it was like, I don't know how that happened. Like, how did this happen for me? Because you know what? I ain't gonna lie. God shows up the most in people' life like yourself. So what changed? What changed? Because it's a lot of things in my life I can't explain to this day, but I know one thing. It wasn't all me. And look for evidence, and good evidence you found none. How did you find how were you looking? How were you looking? Oh, okay, okay. We want to talk about logical and all that stuff. Okay, so you didn't answer my question. Was it something in your life, whether it was big or small? Internet doesn't have everything, bro. I'm just saying. I don't know if you're a sis or brother or whatever, but internet can explain a lot. But was it a time in your life where something happened for you and you couldn't explain it? Was it something in your life that happened for you that you could not explain it? Life teaches you critical thinking. Life teaches us those things. Listen, I think people don't understand that they pray for things unknowingly. Did you know that? Did you know that you pray for things unknowingly? Mm, mm. Did you know you pray for things unknowingly? Did you know that that's just part of your spirit, your spiritual DNA? Did you know that you pray for things unknowingly? Yes or no? So that tells me you don't know that you pray for things unknowingly. Let me explain to y'all how you pray for things unknowingly. Wishing, hoping is a form of prayer because at the end of the day, God hears it. When you wish for something, you wishing for something to the air. When you hope for something, you hoping you sending hope out to who? The air or the universe? Is praying for things, even though even you atheists out there, because it sounds like that's who you is. No disrespect, because I love you. But when you pray for things, when you hope for things, you're praying unknowingly. When you Is faith a good pathway to knowledge? Absolutely. 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 I'm telling you, everybody in this entire world prayed, whether they believe in God or not, unknowingly. I'm telling you, that's a fact. Everybody pray for things unknowingly. I'm telling you, you going one day you're gonna remember I said this, and you're gonna come back and be like, I was right. And I'm gonna be just smile at you and be like, I told you. You ain't wrong. You just haven't been listening, bro. That's fine. I respect your opinion. But I'm telling you, anytime that I prayed, whether it was knowingly or unknowingly, it happened for me. Anytime something happened outside of my understanding, when I didn't exhausted everything in my power to accomplish or do such thing, whatever it may have been, it happened. Because when I got to the end, I was like, that's it. I hope I did everything right. I hope, man, this and that. I'm telling you, that's a form of prayer. That's a form of prayer because at the end of the day, God heard that. Mm, nah, not really. Not really. You know why you can't? You want me to tell you why you can't prove it? Anybody chime in the chat, but we gonna keep respect, okay? Anybody, whoever come in, anybody come in, anybody here, because I don't know this internet thing is crazy. Keep it respectful. Let me explain to you why rate of chance and what you say prayer works at the rate of chance. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you something, right? Um, there is no time or nothing you can say in this world that God will reject you. That's why you can't prove it. You can't prove whether God is real, right? Hypothetically, logically speaking, scientifically speaking, even using rate and chance and test and all that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to see the same result because of God. God doesn't accept nor deny, and he if you think of it, right? Especially doesn't deny. Except, yeah, deny. My bad. I didn't mean to say that. You will never find this evidence because you're never denied. Even when you do deny God, you're never denied. Hey, hey, what's going on? What's going on? So, whether you want to accept God into your life, whether you want to accept that God is real, you're not going to change God destiny for you because it's already set and he know you more than you know yourself. So what is knowledge? It's a lot of things in this thing called life that science can't prove. And scientists have said that themselves. You don't understand that. And why logical people and knowledgeable people can't prove certain things. Just saying. Everything can be proven. Okay. Well, listen, brother or sister, I hope you find the understanding that you need. You know what I mean? I still love you. No judgment zone here. This is great dialogue. Thank you. I'm gonna still talk to you about it. But I do want you to understand. and pay attention and listen. Rather you understand when I say I think people be lost of like what I be saying when I say listen, and you will find out it's gonna come a time in your life. No, I don't know. You might delete people or something. I don't know how this mind stuff work. Nah, but I love you though. I don't know how to mod stuff. I don't really be making. I made Forrest a mod. I don't even know where Forrest at. Forrest ain't been in here. I don't know how long. Forrest was another subscriber, and he asked, and he finally got it, and then I don't see him. Forrest, you here? I don't know. And if he got a different account or whatever the case may be. But listen, shout out to Forrest. He from Africa. He got a friend that do music, dope music. What is that? I don't know what that means. No, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying is that um it's gonna come a time in your life, and I can 100% guarantee that you're gonna find yourself unknowingly praying or unwillingly praying, rather. You're gonna find yourself doing those things. And when you do, come back and let me know. I'm not saying nobody's evil. Whether you believe in God or not, I'm not saying that you evil. You know what I mean? But because a lot of people who are atheists or whatever the case may be, ju- they just they just don't understand, or they understand what they want to understand. They don't listen enough. A lot of people don't listen enough. That's the thing. That's what where getting comfortable with self comes into play. Like that's why I say you have to get comfortable with yourself, because you have to develop the a way of listening. No, I'm not saying you sound like you very educated. 100%. I'm not calling you nothing that you not. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying there are some things that just can't be explained though. You do know that, right? So how do you explain the unexplainable? How do you explain the things that we can explain? How does science explain those things? And what is the I don't know part? What is that? What is the unknown? Where does that come from? If science is evidence and proves everything and all this stuff and everything can be explained, because that's what most scientists believe. But there are things in life that they can't explain. And nine times out of the things in life that they can explain has to deal with what? Life. A lot of things in life. A lot of things in life can't be explained. I'm telling you. So how do you explain the unknown? If you a scientist and everything for the most part can be explained, right? How do you figure out the formula or whatever the case may be about the unknown? So we just chalk it up as I don't know. I that's it. Because the knowledge is limited because it's in God's hand. If God gave you everything about this world or this thing called life, it will be beyond our understanding. and we probably wouldn't know how to process a lot of things, or we probably will use that knowledge to manipulate things in this thing called life. We probably not a lot of scientists and science have manipulated a lot of things, took advantage of a lot of things that wasn't even supposed to be taken advantage of. Wasn't meant to be taken advantage of, but guess what? They learned it and they took advantage of it. So why don't you think that God don't give us everything, and that I don't know and that unknown is placed there for a reason? Yeah. I'll keep my imaginary friend all my life, because that's how we become successful, right? With imaginary, like with our imagination, we become successful with that. That creates success. So you got to keep a little bit of, what is the word, enthusiasm? Am I saying that right? We got to keep that. We got to keep the little imagination. We got to keep it going, regardless of everything. Everything starts off as something we can't see and touch when we trying to accomplish or step into the unknown, right? That's a form of imagination. I'm just saying. Tell me if I'm wrong. You gotta keep, so I mean, if me saying God is here at all times and I know that for a fact and that's my imagination, hey, I'll take it because it been working for me. That's how scientists start. That's how science started, right? Science started with that. Science started with that. How did it started with that? Is because that's where curiosity comes from. How do somebody develop curiosity? By using their imagination. I wonder how that move. I wonder how that is created. So you gotta have somewhere. You gotta have the unknown somewhere. And maybe that unknown can be proven or known, become a known fact, but it starts from imagination. You know what I mean? It stems from that. Everything in this thing called life stems from that. Everything. That's why I say every God gave us everything that we need on this earth. No, I love science and logic. Science was actually one of my favorite subjects in school. Actually was. It was actually one of my favorite subjects in school. You know what I mean? So I love, bro. Like, listen, I love everybody and everything, and I love this dialogue. This is like, I love it. You know. Um, but I'm telling you, bro. Like, it's everything is not meant for us to know. Everything is not, because that's in case science will understand everything. That's the case. Science will be able to prove everything, but it can't. You know what I mean? So therefore, if the unknown is still there and God is the unknown, why don't we believe in God? You believe in science can prove this, or science can eventually get to the unknown? What if science proved that God was right? Would you believe it? What if numbers and math and all that stuff? What if that proved that God was here? Right. What would you do with that information? And anybody in the chat, welcome. We got 3 people in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Please like this live if y'all, like what's going on. Shout out to Super 38 underscore USA from being vocal in the chat. Listen, this is all from love. This is a community of, we can all talk about anything. I don't care what your beliefs is. I love you either way. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure y'all share. It does help me tremendously. I appreciate y'all. Y'all let everybody know, man. We can talk about anything. We don't have to agree with me. Shout out to Super. I love Super. I don't know them. I don't know Super at all, but I love the dialogue. I love the conversation. He's helping create this content. He's part of the community. So we got love Super. You know what I mean? So let's keep it respectful in the chat if you do decide to say something, and it's all love this way. Um, my bad, Super. What'd you say? Maybe it might exist for you. I'm just saying though, right? I'm just saying if science proved that God was real, what would you do? Y'all chime in the chat. You just came in. Appreciate. We got 4 people in here. Thank you, y'all. Appreciate y'all. If you got a crazy name and you want me to shout it out, I'm telling you now, I'm not gonna be able to shout that. I don't want to mess it up. So if you got another thing where it's basic, yeah. Like the video, live stream. It does help me live stream. I'm parched. I need some water. It does help me tremendously, so I appreciate that. Shout out to Super. Super is crazy. Super. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, well, hey, yeah, that's probably not the best name for you if you think you're not that or you're not representing that. Probably wouldn't be the best name. I'm just saying. You're right. Probably it's probably good that you changed that. Listen, man, this thing called life is crazy. I hope y'all like Super. You like what we talking about? You having a good time, Super? You here with me? I appreciate you. I don't know what that means. All right, good, good, good. I'm glad you is Super. I'm glad you is. I'm just chilling, man. You know what I mean? If y'all just now catching live stream, go back and listen to the things I was talking about. We got 2 people in the chat now. I appreciate y'all. Y'all welcome to saying something if you like. If not, it's cool. Um, Shout out to Super. I can't tell. This is what I need. I need more people to be active in here, man. Y'all, whoever come in here, be active, man. We family here. Don't matter what you say. I'm not gonna judge you. It's all love here. You know what I mean? I love people who interact. Don't be afraid, man. You know what I mean? If you catch the live stream later, I'm talking about people for later. So later people, you catch live stream. Remember, you can go in here and talk to So. You can talk to Derek about anything. You can say whatever you want to Derek. I don't block people, whether you like me, hate me, whatever. I don't care about none of that. You know, all I ask as far as if you want to say something or you have a disagreement with anybody or me, keep it respectful because all it takes is a conversation. That's it. We don't need to do nothing else. Just take a conversation. And you can say respectfully, I don't like your content. Respectfully, you this. Respectfully, you that. But keep it respectful. You know what I mean? That's what it's about, man. It's about being human. That's what my brand represent. That's what the brand I'm creating right now. It represent with just being human and being respectful to everybody. Nah, man. Nah. You gotta earn that little more. But you funny though. Now you wanna accept nah man. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, man. You funny, man. That's funny than them up. Nah, man, we all family over here. I'm gonna be on here for a little longer, y'all. I ain't gonna be on here. I know it's late. I was supposed to come on here earlier, but you know how life go. This thing called life be getting us caught up and we just be going. You know what I mean? But I do got reaction videos coming soon. So when y'all do see the reaction videos, do me a favor, support that. Nah, I'm from Chicago. Represent the Bulls. Illy Illy. Illinois, Chicago. Uh, but yeah. Um I don't know. It's crazy because I was talking to somebody and they asked me that, like, what was my accent? I'm like, bro, I'm like, don't have one. From my understanding, not to speak. English is my first language, so mm, maybe I do and don't know I do or whatever. Maybe I think it's because of how I pronounce some of my words and how I speak. Maybe people might think that, but no, no. I'm from my understanding, I'm just Black American. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But listen, I'm gonna be on here for what? Where we at? Are we a little over an hour? Being here a little more longer, but I'm just chilling right now. Just chilling like a pullin', y'all. I'm gonna get off soon though. Try to catch some Z's. If you in the chat, let me know what type of content I should do. Super, if you still in here, let me know what type of content I should do. Because I'm trying to figure out. And I need to find me a podcast buddy that's trustable, that's willing to, you know what I mean, do this thing. Think so? What y'all think? What type of podcast should I do? I don't think it's really. I mean, I just don't think nothing to be really frustrated about. You know what I mean? It's just dialogue, conversation. Um, that can work. You know, that can work. But I'm not the most. I'm not the person that I just know God is real. That God is very present in my life. Um, yeah, I guess it can. Um, a lot of things in this life can be frustrating. A lot of things in this thing called life is definitely frustrating. Hmm. I know a lot of people was telling me, a lot of people was actually DMing me for reaction videos. So I'm gonna get back to the reaction videos too, and I'm talking about like music. Y'all want me to do musical reactions or y'all want me to keep the commentary thing going? What y'all think? Give me a like if you like the commentary. We have 5 likes. Give me a like if you want the commentary to keep going. This podcast type of style videos I be doing, or should I do something else? Back to the music. I don't really have an active chat for some reason. I don't know if people scared or what. I know it's two people in here. There was five, and then my numbers keep jumping. So I don't know. I ain't gonna be like my man. No disrespect, Hassan Campbell. No disrespect, I love Hassan, but I ain't gonna be like him talking about some YouTube playing with me because YouTube be actually promoting this channel. So shout out to YouTube because they actually be pushing my content. Like it shows in the analytics, they be pushing it. So I ain't gonna never disrespect YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. I love YouTube. I understand. I understand how to critically think, whatever you want to call it, but bro, like I don't like to talk like I like to like I don't I like to come off as human as possible. I think when you overdo stuff, to me personally, it just becomes like repetitive. Like if I'm just like, to be honest with you, bro, like I don't really like I, my branding, the brand that I'm trying to create, and the community that I'm trying to create is a community where you can be yourself. You know what I mean? Come on here, enjoy the content, what I do, and be yourself. You know, a lot of things I can't do now because this not a full-time thing for me. I'm not monetized, unfortunately, yet, but I'm working on it. Shout out to YouTube once again. We working on it, right? YouTube. Um, so I can't full time, make this a full time thing. So it's a lot of things that I can't do that I want to do, but I can't do it because I'm not monetized, unfortunately, yet. Um, nah, you can stay super. I like super. but but so this not a full time thing for me yet. So yeah, we're gonna keep that. So it's not a full time thing for me yet. So it's a lot of things that I'm not capable of doing yet. And there's a lot of platforms that I haven't really touched yet too. Like I wanna see what Kicks do or Twitch or whatever that is. Like, maybe get the youth over here a little more. I think what my analytics show is that it's more adults, which I set most of my content for adults because I don't want kids to be hearing about me talking about game bangers doing dumb stuff or really any adult doing silly stuff because a lot of adults do it and they watch it. And yeah, I don't want YouTube to think I'm trying to, I don't know, you know what I mean? I just want YouTube to know that I'm speaking to adults. So I don't really talk about nothing too crazy on here anyways, but if you a kid on my page, understand that Derek, whatever you want to call me, don't want to paint a false narrative for you, and I'm not trying to do that at all. Believe in what you believe in, love what you love, but understand that at the end of the day, we are human. Understand that respect is warranted. Like it has to be there, especially when it's given. And yeah, that's what it's about, man. Just showing each other love, having a good time and admitting when we wrong. You know what I mean? And there's nothing with being wrong. Just admit it that you wrong. Well, me personally, I'm Muslim. Um, there are some truth to Christianity. There's a lot of truth to Christianity, but me personally, I'm Muslim. And I'm not like the best religious. I grew up Christian. I took my Shahada, became Muslim. But I'm not the best religion. Like if you trying to speak religion and all that, yeah, that's not what I really do here. But I can tell you God is real. Yeah, I mean there are disagreements, you know what I mean? I mean I think be honest with you a lot, like I said, I'm Muslim myself, but a lot of this religion stuff is nothing but another form for us to be like this. That's even with science and everything else. It's not to keep us like this. It's to keep us like that because we're going to have these debates. We're going to believe this. We're going to believe that. You know what I mean? We're going to have our own opinions, which is nothing wrong. But ultimately, it's for us to do. You go that way. I go this way. You stay over there in that group. I stay over here in this group. That's what it's all about. You answering questions. What you mean? Yeah, I'm answering questions. What's up? What's up, Meek? What's going down? What's up? What's up? What's up? You from New York or something? I like that name. Shout out to New York. I'm answering all questions. Answering all questions, y'all. I'm here to talk, man. Are you from Philly? Shout out to Philly, man. I want to go. I went to New York before, but I ain't go where I need to go. I was just traveling through, but I need to touch in with my people. I got a lot of supporters in New York, man. I love them brothers out there, man. What's going down, Meek? What you want to ask me, brother? It's definitely hard to get anything done, bro, and that's why it's a way of design, bro. It's not for us to whoever, bro. Like everything. Oh, appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, who is that? I can't see it. If you a sister, my bad. I can't see your picture. They make these pictures small, so brother, sister, whoever, I can't see your picture, and I can't. Your name really don't really specify who you are. So my bad if I ever feel disrespected. I'm not trying to do that. But thank you. Super. What did you say? Mm, oh, okay. My bad. Hey, okay. Okay. So what's your question? That sound crazy, by the way, me. A woman did all that. That's like over the top. Straight up. I ain't gonna lie. That's overly doing it. Like you just play. I don't what the talking to her family on video and everything, bro. So what's your question? Like, how do you feel? How should you feel about that? What's your question? Oh, you saying if? But I'm saying she ghosted you. So what you trying to figure out how to feel about it? She definitely was playing, but that's like next level play. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. That's like next level play. That's like you a little crazy playing. I'm just saying. That's like I don't know how to feel about that because that's like who takes their time out to play with somebody like that. That's like messing with somebody's psyche, and then you want to know why they did what they did and spazzed out how they spazzed out. It's nasty work. Don't have the boo boo face on when somebody give you a nasty reaction. I'm just saying. Meek, stay away from her as far as you can, brother. Still in the chat. Stay away from her as far as you can. And yeah, bro, don't chase nothing, bro. That's what I ain't gonna lie, y'all. And it's crazy. but I really don't get too caught up with people um emotionally, right? I love everybody, right? I love y'all, I love everybody. I mean everything I say. But I understand that we're human and I understand that and each and every one of us is flawed. So therefore I know that I don't really have any expectations or high standards or bars set when it comes to dealing with people because I understand logically the standards that I have for an individual or I may set for an individual, logically speaking, probably not gonna be met. Super crazy. Super crazy. But yeah, bro, I don't really set expectations for people, me, because I just, see stuff like that can cause somebody to crash out for real. You know what I mean? Especially that's why I don't get myself emotionally attached to people or set unrealistic s- standards for people because you're gonna end up hurt at the end of the day. I mean, shoot, me. I mean, he ain't saying nothing wrong. I mean, yeah, let her chase you for sure. I mean, but at the end of the day, when she do start chasing, are you going to accept it? Should you accept it? You know what I mean? I don't know about that one. If you didn't want me now, you shouldn't want me later. And then the way you treated me will tell me how where I should keep you at. You know what I mean? Like I could still deal with you, but not on the level that I was going to deal with you on. You know what I mean? You used me, right? You ghosted me. So what I'm gonna do to you? I'm gonna do the same. I'm just saying, me. I ain't saying do that, but I'm just saying if you're gonna do it, you should do it right. Now I ain't saying do nobody like that because I wouldn't do. I just cut you off. Like I just keep you over there. You know what I mean? Personally, but yeah, if we gonna do that, we gonna do it right because that's how you did me. If I was on that type of time, I'm not. I'll just keep you away. Super. We stay on topic, Super. Please. We talking about meat. What meat got going on? You talking about this right now? We done. We done. We didn't had our long conversation, Super. We'll talk about that later. We gonna step. Whoever got anything else they want to talk about, talk. Put it in the chat. Because I was gonna do the phone call thing, but y'all, I don't know if people really like that. Y'all want to talk to me on some personal. We can talk about it on here. Y'all be helping me tremendously with content. I appreciate y'all, love y'all. But yeah, we stay chilling, man. Stay chilling. What you talking about? But oh, you saying like what? Like what Super talking about? Yeah, I don't know what Super talking about. Super be tripping. I love Super. You be randomly saying stuff. I don't know. We ain't even talking about that right now. But yeah, brother, just me, just keep her away, bro. Just stay your distance, brother. That's the best thing I tell you to do, bro. You know what I mean? Just stay your distance, respectfully, just tell her, hey, look, I was digging you at one point, but now we ain't on that type of time. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. People when people be mentally playing with people like that, bro, like I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like that can That can have people doing stuff, and then people be having a boo boo face on, and they don't know why somebody did what they did. Well, it was warranted because you did what you did to me. You know what I mean? And then it's just all nasty, bro. Like I said, bro, like if anything on some real spill, like me personally, I just keep them away from me. Oh, you a woman? Okay, you got to change that name. You gotta change that name. That name is crazy work. That name is nasty work. That name is nasty work. That name is yeah, Super be chilling. I don't know what Super be talking about. But Super is come talking, so we love Super. He in the chat. He ain't being shy. I don't understand why people come in here and don't say nothing. Like at one point, I had like not today, but I be having like 50 some people in here. Will be in here, just look for a couple minutes and dip. Like, bro, what do y'all want to see me do? Crash out or something? I'm not that type of dude. Super chill. Stay chilling, be chilling. I would say the other name, but you a girl, so I think you need to change that name. But that's funny though. I like your approach to it. I don't know if you was trying to do that on some funny stuff, but that name is crazy. That name is funny to the mug. I ain't gonna lie, man. If y'all in the chat, y'all do me a favor. If you haven't yet, yeah, me. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like that'll have anybody looking like that. Especially, see, I think women don't understand. I think women don't understand that we actually be caring for real. You know what I mean? I appreciate you subscribing, me. Appreciate it, brother. I think women don't understand that we actually care, and then they be looking like what well like when the next woman meet us, they be looking like what's wrong with him? Like why he act like this? Why his guard up? We the ones that get hurt all the time. All the time, bro. It'd be that one woman that'll hurt a man and can make him change his whole mindset on how he it's we men and women do it. Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to tell you, yeah. Most men don't care. Most men stop caring because of what the woman did, vice versa, though. See, everything is all playing, everybody playing with everybody, bro. You know what I mean? That's why the best bet for us is to start off honest off the jump and really because I know Meek. Now, let me ask you something, Meek. You still here, right? Let me ask you something, brother. It is I was just about to ask you that. I'm reading the chat here, my bad, y'all. Hold on. Cause it's bigger over there. I can see it a lot better. Hold on, y'all. Wait, hold on. We mention. Okay, Meek. So I was just about to ask you that. Like, okay, so see, that's what I'm saying, bro. And that be nasty, bro. You know what I mean? Like women, no, Hold on. It's like, man, I care, but I'm not one. Emotion. Well, my man's on attention, even though she told me that. And then she said she know this early on. Yeah, see, and we don't be on that type of time, especially when you meet a woman that. But that's what I was about to ask you, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of times, bro, we be knowing that already. You know what I'm saying? We be we be knowing that already, like we be feeling it, like it ain't right for us, but then we end up being with it because it feel right, but then it don't feel right. You know what I mean? And I was just about to ask you that. So she made you feel like basically like emotionally everything was good type stuff. You know what I mean? And then just did some weirdo stuff. Why would you change something? I was just being funny. You don't have to you don't have to change your name. I don't know, Meek. That's a weird situation because I don't know, brother. Like I would say because that's dangerous, bro. Like I said, bro. Like and then people don't understand. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's why I like to be around individuals who have some care in their self. You know what I mean? Schoolboy. What's going down? Um, what's up? That's why. Bro. Nah, bro. Leave that where it's at. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, it's all about being honest. Like I don't got time for that, to be honest with you. Like I don't, you know. I'd rather somebody tell me off jump, I like this, I like that, that's what I like. You know what I mean? Meek, leave her alone. Leave her alone, bro. Telling you, brother, that's a crash out waiting to happen. Especially because it sounded like you may was feeling her. She took you some, she had you feeling she has you emotionally feeling these things that you probably haven't felt before or a long time and that's just a recipe for disaster, brother, because if you ghost me once you'll ghost me again. Everybody shows who they are on the first round. It's very rare when somebody change up or switch up who they really is. You know what I mean? It's very, very rare. I'm just saying, listen to your conscience. You know what I mean? Listen to whatever your first thought was and run with that. I would say, me. That's what I'm saying, bro. I ain't dealing with that, bro. Like I don't know how old you is, me, but me personally, bro. If I was a single man, brother, I'd be single, like dolo solo at all times. I'm telling you, bro, I will be like I mean it. I wouldn't even do. I would say something, but I ain't gonna say it. But I would be by myself at all times, like because the world is bad, bro. The world is bad, bro. It's in a bad state. It's bad, bro. Like people losing their minds out here. Women, and especially the dating scene, bro. Like the stuff I heard, bro. Toxic is definitely the wave. You gotta be toxic in order to maintain a relationship. Now back then, when I ain't old or nothing like that, but like in my age group, like in my time, right? You had toxic people, but most of them toxic crash outs didn't last too long. And it wasn't that many as much as it is now. I don't know. It's easy to yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I like I said, I'll be by myself. I'll be myself. 37. Okay. We around the same age. I'm a little younger. Like a year or two under you. You definitely have that's what I'm saying, bro. I'll be by myself, bro. I couldn't deal with that. If I was a single man, I couldn't deal with that, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like for real, for real. Cause I done heard stories now that make me be like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, dang. Cause I know how I am, right? So I know I am that guy. Like I get if I like you, I like you. You know what I mean? If I want you, I want you. I'm not gonna play no games with you. Um, Especially now at me being the age that I am now. Um, I'm not that, you know what I mean? I kind of have that type of energy, and I understand where you coming from. Um, they don't, bro. They don't expect love or intention. Nah. They respect people who treat women these days respectfully. There's some more women in here. I know we got one. But respectfully, it seems like y'all want a toxic man. You know what I mean? When you meet a good man like Meek, you know what I mean? You Y'all women want a toxic man, and that's nasty work. Like, you know what I mean? That's not fair, bro. Because it's good men out here. It's actually good men out here, but it makes a motherfucker go toxic because then, and that goes back to I don't know how early y'all probably just got in here not too long ago, but when I started the pod, that goes back to the topic, bro. Setting standards. Now, that's why I say it's important not to set certain standards, especially ones you can't maintain, because if you flip that whatever you was doing, s- pulling out the chairs, doing whatever that, if you flip that and change it, the narrative, then you gonna have somebody looking at you like what's going on, and then that becomes a lie and you're not who you say you are and so on and so forth. But that's why I like to be straight up. If I'm gonna pull the chair out for you, I'm gonna pull the chair out for you all the time. If I'm gonna open the door for you, I'm gonna open the door for you all the time. Now, if I don't do that, that means that's just not part of that's not me, that's not what I do. You know what I mean? Not saying that I'm not a gentleman or nothing like that. Me personally, yeah, I open the door like the door and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna be doing extra out stuff and then you expecting this to happen and then one day it doesn't. Now you looking at me like I'm crazy. And then that's when the questioning began to happen like, oh, is he cheating? Is he doing this and he doing that? Because you couldn't withhold that standard that you set. And that's where a lot of people mess up at. Mm, mm. I don't know. Don't give them what they want, bro, because you gonna find a woman that's right for you. Now, depending on what you asking, I don't know. Being single is a flex. It definitely is. I feel like it is. If that's what I mean, yeah. This is why this phone is so like these. My bad, y'all. Y'all see I got glasses, so it's taking me. Hold on. Wait, so are you saying? Are you saying? Wait, hold on. Question is why men talk like that's a bad thing. Yeah, tempting to deal with women that are not meant for them. What you mean though? Kind of stay chilling. Elaborate that a little more. Like that's sis, not bro. You just gotta ignore super right now. Super probably a little super sleepy. See, super sleepy. You know what I mean? Super sleepy. Um, Meek, yeah, brother. I would say, bro, you know, keep being you, brother. You know what I mean? I wouldn't chase that, and nor would I accept that. You know what I mean? Um, if I was a single man in today's age, bro, I'd probably be single for the rest of my life. Be honest with you, personally. Yeah, definitely on one for sure. Um, yeah, bro. Uh, I want you to elaborate more. Stay chilling. Elaborate more what you saying though, like on the question you had, because I wasn't really. Are you asking like because you said man being single is a flex, and then what don't you understand about men being with women that what that are not meant for them? What do you mean by that? Like, because men and women, people just don't treat people right these days. You know what I mean? And it's just all nasty work. If your logic was clear for yeah, I don't know what super talking about. Okay, super. I don't know what you talking about at this point. But yeah, anyways, me, you still there, right? Cause they just threw me off topic, brother. You still there? Hopefully you is, bro. But yeah, bro, I wouldn't accept that whatsoever in my life. And yeah, I wouldn't accept that in my life. And I would definitely keep being who I am. You know what I mean? And eventually I will find a person for me. Like I say, bro, like don't rut. My brother's a single 30-something-year-old man as well. You know what I mean? And I mean, bro, the best thing you can do is take your time and not think about time. You know what I mean? Um, because what's gonna be for you is gonna be for you, and nothing and no one can take that away from you, brother. Now I understand you in a stage in your life where you probably feel like um time is ticking. You know what I mean? I want something real. I done been out here, I did this, I done done that. You know, I get it, brother. Trust me, I get it. And I can only imagine. I can't say that I know I understand you completely because my scenario is different, right? But what I can say is that from the stories that I have heard and people that I know for real, bro, the best thing you can do is take your time, bro, and get what's right for you. You know what I mean? And when you meet that individual that's right for you, brother, I don't know if you still in here, but if you meet when you meet that individual, not if, when you meet that individual for you meet, it's gonna be all good for you, brother. You know what I mean? You know, Super the first alien I seen in chat. Yeah, I don't know about Super. He definitely the first everything right now. He acting like 607 Unk, GD, BD, Vice Lord, and all everything else. Quit playing with me. I love to do some content with him because I know I'll probably be the awkward person in that content. 'Cause I'll be laughing at everything, bro. Quit playing with me. On GDVD Vice Lord. I love that dude, man. I love all these brothers, man. They, man, it's a blessing, bro. I love this content space, y'all. That's my dream to be able to do stuff like that. Like, I just want to have fun, be able to enjoy this thing called life and support people and put people in position, y'all. That's really why I do, that's why I do this content space, you know what I mean? Like it's fun and it's we could talk, man. We could build communities out here where we can talk and just have fun, man. That's what it's about, man, and creating opportunities for people. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. I want y'all to understand about this YouTube thing is that if you a content creator or a aspiring content creator, you want to be a content creator at some point. Understand that when you reach a certain goal in this content space, when it comes to the subscriber counts and all that, everybody not gonna be. I had one person come on my page and ask me that I paid for subscribers, bro. Bro, look at me. Do it look like I'm about to pay for some subscribers? If you pay attention from me from since day one, and I don't know how long y'all been on here, but if you pay attention to my channel since day one, it's been a lot of elevation. You know what I mean? Those who know who OG's been on this page know where it started from and how it's looking and where it's gonna go. You know what I mean? Like it's elevation, and I don't mind the baby steps and the steps, man. And understand that it's gonna take time to do this stuff, man. You know what I mean? I'm not rushing it because I know once it happened for me, it, only God can take it away. You know what I mean? And that's what about life, man. Like my thing is, man, it's like I love the dialogue, the conversations we've been having. You know what I mean? Meet, stay chilling, super, all that. Like, bro, this was about us having a good time talking, having dialogue, real conversations. You know what I mean? GD Vice Lord. 607 Uncle's funny than a mug. If anybody know him, I'm just saying, tell him to quit playing with me. Come holler at so have me on his show, bro. Tell him to have me on his show, man. Shout me out one time, man. I love one of these dudes to shout me out, man. I just be chilling, bro. I hope none of these dudes be taking my content like as me trying to attack nobody, bro. Like all these dudes, bro. I'm not trying to attack y'all, but if I see something goofy on the line, I'm gonna be the one to say it, and I'm not gonna create a false narrative around your name. I'm gonna just tell you tripping. You know what I mean? And I don't see nothing wrong with it because I want somebody to tell me. That's why I say I'm YouTuber's best friend. I'm your best friend, bro. Like I'm like literally, bro. Like I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be that voice in your ear. Like, hey, bro, no, no, we gonna do that other thing. I know this is like the most unpopular opinion or this, you know what I mean, that may heard recently, but bro, we gonna go ahead and do something else. We gonna go that way instead of this way. You know what I mean? I'm that friend, bro. Like that's what we all need, bro. You know what I mean? We need somebody to be that for us, man. And I understand, bro. Like everybody don't have nobody. Like everybody don't have a person who genuinely cares, man. I love each and every one of y'all. I don't know y'all from a can of paint, but I care. I care for Meek. I care for Super. I care for Stay Chillin'. I really genuinely care, and this is who I am, man. I'm quiet at times. I talk at times. If you meet me in person, don't be afraid. I'm kind of a big dude, but I ain't that big. And a lot of people tell me I look mean, bro, and I'm not mean at all. You know, I guess because I don't really talk like that in person. Like if you see me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do talk like this, but if you see me in person, I'm not the type of person that seek attention. Like I'm not that dude that's just in a room trying to talk to everybody. Like that's not who I am, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just Derek. You come talk to Derek. Derek gonna talk to you. You know what I mean? You Derek ain't trying to be the loudest person in the room. Like that. That's the type of time I be on. But if when I get to talking to people and people get to talking to me, 9 times out of 10, hopefully I make them feel welcome and that they rocking with the vibe. That's what it's about. Oh, he human, he cool, he chilling. Oh, he just that's just Derek. I want you to be like that's just Derek. I want you to rock for me, rock with me because I'm just Derek. You know what I mean? Don't rock with me because of nothing else, man. Don't rock with me because I'm hating the next person. Don't rock with me because I'm viral for putting out hateful things and making up false narratives on people. No, God forbid. Super, you tripping? I told you, super tripping. Go to bed. Oh man, it's God forbid. I'm on God. Hopefully, doing everything I can, man, to make God proud of me, man. You know, that's what it's about. That's what it's about, making God proud of me, man. You know what I mean? That's it, y'all. I appreciate the 7 likes though, man. I don't know why people come in here and dip, but I appreciate those who stepped in, man. I'm gonna be on here for maybe 20 more minutes and then I'm gonna tap out. But I will be dropping new content tomorrow. Well, today is tomorrow. So if you still in here, I appreciate it. New content coming. I'm gonna be 20 more minutes, so bear with me. 20 more minutes, maybe 30, depending on the vibes. We need some more dialogue. What y'all want to talk about? What y'all think about Meek and Super Stay chilling? What y'all think about me doing like call-ins? Y'all think I should do that? Y'all think I should do that type of content where I'm like talking to the person for real in real time? Or do this? What y'all think? And also what type of content would y'all like to see? If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you. I go by the name of So Derek. Um, yeah, I'm taking this one step at a time, one day at a time. I've been doing YouTube for 5, 6 years now. It doesn't happen overnight, and I want to show people that this is all from genuine, like me just putting out content. I ain't hurting nobody. I ain't making up no narratives. I have strong opinions on things, and I speak on them. Please, if you discovered my channel from my short videos, understand that there are long form videos too. Most of it may have been some stuff that didn't have long form, but most of the content on this channel does have long form videos. Any shorts, for the most part, have a long form video. So if you can binge watch my content, it does help me tremendously. We on the road to 3K. Um, Also, we trying to get that watch time up. So we almost, got a little ways to go to get the watch time up. We almost there to being monetized. So I appreciate y'all, man, for real. y'all are making my dreams come true. I want y'all to understand I'm still gonna be the same Derek no matter what, man. You know what I mean? I mean that. You know, no matter where I'm at, what platform you may see me on, you know, who platform you may see me on, rather, I'm always gonna stay true to myself, you know, because I always think about my mother and my ancestors, like who took part of uh creating this individual or molding this individual that you see today that hopefully you all like and enjoy. Um um so I'm always stay true to that. You know what I mean? And it's never gonna change for me, you know. I'm gonna stay true to being who I am. I'm gonna stay true to being me, man. Being, you know, representing the people that raised me. You know, my mother that raised me, my grandmother that helped, you know, mold and raise me. You know what I mean? Um, that's who I represent. You know what I mean? So if you appreciate me, and I want you to understand that's where it came from. I am who I am because my mother and my grandmother. You know what I mean? And without them, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And that's what I represent. That's who I represent when I come on this platform. It's my mother and my grandmother and my ancestors. You know what I mean? And I want people to understand that it's okay to be yourself and be human. I love it. I love it. It's so much peace. You know what I mean? I fell in love with the religion. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was born Christian, and I fell in love with the Muslim community. Um, just watching certain things and just knew that that was me. That's me. You know what I mean? Like you know when something represent who you are. Not to take away from and nobody that who's Christian or nothing, because that's who you are. You know what I mean? But even though I was a born Christian, I was really Muslim the whole time, you know what I mean? And that's who I am. That's what I represent. You know, am I the perfect person? No, but I am human, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. And I fell in love with the Muslim community and the religion, and that's what I represent, you know what I mean? The peacefulness, the humbleness, all that made sense aligned with me, who I believe that I am today. So that's why I took the Shahada, and that's why I represent what I represent. Um, it's not a phase. I've been Muslim for a while now. Uh, my grandmother is no longer here. My grandmother passed away a few many years ago. Um, rest in peace to grandma. My mother was taken back from it for a minute, but she, you know, over the years, because I've been Muslim for a couple of years now, it started to make a lot of sense to her. Um, being Muslim, to me at least, is having peace um, within self and things that surround you. Being Muslim to me, that's what. Yeah, thank you, rep. Yeah, R.I.P. to my grandma. I appreciate that, man. Um, Beautiful woman, beautiful soul. Um, that's what it represents for me is just being having peace. You know, representing what peace look like and what it is, and worshiping God. You know what I mean? That's why I fell in love. So my mother understood after a while that that's what I was on. You know what I mean? That's what I represent. It made a lot of sense to her. You know, like I said, I always been Muslim my whole life, even though I was born a Christian. I never liked the pork, never liked it a lot of things, you know. What's going down? What's going down? Appreciate you tapping in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. What's up? I see you more. Like the last name. But That's what it, that's what it represent for me. You know what I mean? Call what? It represent peace for me. So yeah, my mother, she understood after a while. She understood after a while. It started to make sense. You know what I mean? Listen, if you're new to the channel, I go by the name of So Derek. I don't create narratives, I break them down. Here on this channel, we are a family. We're gonna keep it respectful in the chat. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see and hear, whether it's now or later, please do so. Subscribe to the channel and understand that you are officially, or you are part of the culture. You know what I mean? And what culture represents to me is being human and understanding that, we're nothing but human and we should treat each other with respect when it's warranted, when it's being given. You know what I mean? And just loving on one another. You know what I mean? It's just all love here. It's not doing extra. We just chilling, talking, having conversations. If you feel like you want to talk in the chat, please do so. We family. Everybody in the chat gonna keep it respectful and funny. As you see in the chat, if you go down, you'll see. We all believe in different things, but at the end of the day, we all respect each other, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? So um, we all gonna respect each other, and I don't want to have to. I really don't do no blocking people off timeouts on the channel. But if you do be disrespectful, I'm gonna have to put you on timeout. You know what I mean? Because we all respect, and that's what this platform that I'm creating and building is about: love and respect, and understanding. At the end of the day, we all human, and we all ain't no big A, big U's, and bigger than the program or whatever you want to call it. And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? I got baby like 5 more minutes. So if you want to ask me a question, please do so. Um, yeah, that's what we doing. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling right now. Tomorrow we'll be back on live tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna I might do live tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on if y'all rocking with these lives. If y'all rocking with the live, if been in here and you haven't yet liked the video, please do so. Like the live stream. Please share. That does help me tremendously. It helps spread the message. That's what we doing over here, man. Showing each other love and respect. And respect, and we need that. You know what I mean? Especially in today's time. You know what I mean? It's for people to understand that no matter what walks of life, whether you atheist, whether you Christian, whether whatever belief you have, at the end of the day, we can have different opinions. We can dialogue about it, but at the end of the day, we can love each other, respect each other' opinions, and that's what it is. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do for no my what you want to call it, what's the word I'm looking for, chat? I'm not trying to force my beliefs on y'all. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to feed no false narratives. I'm trying to make up no false narratives. What you see is what you get, and who I am. Yeah, you know what I mean? Everything came from everything, bits and pieces of everything, Um, so you never know, But listen, y'all, I'm about to go in a few minutes. About five is 151 my way, so maybe like 9 minutes, 8 minutes. So if you haven't yet asked me a question outside of religion, Super, I know you still in here, Super. So outside of religion, um, you can ask me anything. Outside of religion, we can talk about anything right now. We talk about religion some more, of course, for sure. But outside of religion, we can talk about anything. Um, is there any topic y'all want me to talk about when it comes to the culture? Like, far as like this podcast, I've been seeing a lot. I'm gonna drop some stuff. Cause I seen some stuff that I will be dropping. I'm probably gonna make the video tonight because I'm gonna be busy tomorrow. So I probably gonna have to do that tonight. But I do got some content, pre-record content coming up. I seen some nasty work, and y'all know I got to talk on it. Talk about it. You know what I mean? Y'all know Derek gonna talk about it. So whatever you want to call me. I got some content coming. That's coming. I seen some nasty work by Charleston White. I'm giving my opinion. Uh, it's a whole nah, man. You see, that's what I'm saying. People super crazy, man. You super crazy. But yeah, I got some content I seen on Charleston White. Anything new? Listen, I'm on. Before I go in a few, do me a favor, y'all. Oh, we got 4 people. If you just now tapping in, please do me a favor, like the live stream. It does help me tremendously. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like what you see. Also, please, y'all, do me a favor. Let your friend, your mama, your cousin, everybody know what's going on over here so they can subscribe. Hey, tell them that we family over here. It's cool vibe for older people, younger people. We're gonna have some good times. I got some fun live streams coming up very, very soon. I want to do some things. I got something nasty I want to taste. To me, it's nasty. I don't know. In my head, I think it's nasty, and I'm gonna go live and try it. What y'all gonna see my reaction real time. In my head, it's kind of nasty. You know what I mean? So that's coming up. Um, what else, y'all? Like I said, I'm gonna drop a video. I'm gonna drop a video later on today that I seen about some nasty word Charleston White said. It's really reiterating what I heard he already said, but it's just I don't know what you talking about, brother. But we yeah, just tell me what y'all want to see. You know what I mean? Tell me what y'all want to see. We're gonna make it happen. Um, like I said, if you're new to the channel, appreciate you from tapping in. Um, yeah, because you lost me on that one. I ain't gonna lie. Thank you for saying never mind, because I didn't know what you was talking about. But listen, before I leave, I want y'all to understand this, right? No matter where I'm at, no matter what platform you may see me on, no matter what who platform you may see me on, I'm always going to say the same thing because I do understand and know how important it is for us all to hear it. Are you telling me to shut up? Dang, bro. Why I gotta shut up? You telling me to shut up? Dang. It's all love here, bro. You telling me to shut up though? Gamer? Me? Oh, me. Oh, why I gotta shut up, brother? You don't like me, bro. I'll get it. That's okay, brother. I talk to who I talk to. Sometimes I'm on here talking to myself, but guess what? It's not paid for. I never paid for this stuff, bro. So I talk to whoever in here, bro. I don't care if it's one person in here. We down to two. I don't care if it's me in here by myself. I'm still gonna be talking. You ain't gotta subscribe, bro. I don't have to subscribe, bro. Appreciate the like, bro, but you don't have to subscribe. It's all good. This probably not the content you want to see. Anybody who come in and leave, it's not the content they want to see. I'm not acting a fool. I'm not making no lies. People like to see people making no lies. I'm not that type of dude. You know what I mean? So you're not gonna never see that here, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. So don't even subscribe to the channel. You're not gonna see me making lies up, trying to hurt somebody, all that good shit, bro. I'm not doing that, bro. It's not that deep for me, bro. Y'all gonna learn yet, bro. I'm telling y'all. Nah, we gonna send him to heaven. He needs to go to heaven most, super. We gonna ask God to send him to heaven. I know we ain't asking God to do that now. Remember, we gonna keep it respectful, even to those who disrespectful. We don't care about that, and we're gonna respond to them too. And we're gonna keep his comment there, and we're gonna not block him, and we're not gonna pretend like we don't see him. Because why? At the end of the day, I love y'all. I mean what I say, and I'm gonna stand on everything I say. It's not a gimmick. This is who I am. I'm human. And I mean that. And you human and we all human. And I don't care, like I said, if it's one person in here, two people in here, one day it's gonna be 50 people, 100 people, and everybody gonna be loving one another, and we're gonna all be talking and laughing and chatting about different topics and all this. I'm speaking this into existence because I know it's warranted. We all need this, and I'm gonna be keeping it as real as it get, and I'm not gonna make up lies for no clout. And if I interview somebody ain't famous or a celebrity, guess what I'm gonna talk about? What they're doing now, not what they did or viral clicks or something stupid happened. No, we're gonna talk about what they're focused on. Oh, you doing a project? Let's talk about the project. Oh, let's talk about some of your past projects. See, a lot of these interviewers, and this is what I want to do too. Before I go, because I was supposed to go, but a lot of these interviewers interview these people about the wrong shit that they don't want to hear. They want to always interview people respectfully about the wrong stuff. When you want to interview with somebody about a viral clip from such to them, you trying to bring up old stuff that don't got nothing to do with what they trying to promote now and what they talking about. You ain't bringing up nothing good. You always bringing up viral clips and shit. Like that's there's always something stupid people like to look for. I'm not none on none of that. We're gonna talk about you as an individual, as a person, as a creator, as an artist, as a painter, whatever you want to talk about. We're not gonna talk about why you did this or why you made this mistake and it so happened somebody recorded it. This and that, this and that. No, no. Now, if you say you want to talk about it, that's different. If I'm talking about it, that's different. Now, am I gonna talk about something you recently did and it was stupid and you put it out to the youth and now they minds and messed up? Yeah, I'm gonna make people talk about hard stuff like that. I'm not gonna talk about bringing up some stuff you don't want to talk about. And you and people, a lot of these people be making people highly uncomfortable, bro. And I ain't on none. I want you to be comfortable, but I want you to understand that Derek will push so will push you in. Derek will push you in his place in your place when needed. And but it's all with love. There's no disrespect. I will ask the most gangsterous gangster the most hardest questions. Because if you put out dumb energy and stuff that out here to these babies, now you got them doing and saying things, I want to talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, bro. You're not bigger than a program. You're human just like me. I'm not gonna disrespect you. You're not gonna disrespect me. We're gonna keep it respectful. You know what I mean? And that's what it's gonna be, bro. I'm not the toughest man. I'm not Mr. Gangsterist man. None of that. I'm just human. I'm just Derek. That's what it's about. Showing love, understanding, finding understanding, understanding that we can have talks without it leading to something else. You know what I mean? But listen, y'all, I will be dropping a pre-recorded video later on. We almost at 2K subscribers. We got a few more hundred to go. But listen, y'all, no matter what platform I may be on, I was trying to say it earlier, no matter where you may see me at, who platform you may see me on, I'm always going to say the same thing because I do understand how important it is for us to hear this because we never hear it and we don't hear it enough. Funny. Super go to bed after this. We don't hear it enough. But listen, nobody told y'all today. I want to be the first one to tell y'all is that I love y'all. Y'all have a nice night, morning. It's morning for me, day, whatever it may be, whatever time zone you may be in. Y'all have a nice one. I love y'all. And I mean that for real. Peace.